Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, it gives me great pleasure to host, together with Secretary General Thomas Garrett, the 20th anniversary conference of the Warsaw Declaration and of the Community of Democracies. It is with great honor that I welcome the Honorable Madeleine Albright, former Secretary of State, co-founder of the Community of Democracies. At this,
I had looked forward to traveling to Bucharest to attend this ministerial meeting. Although I regret that we could not meet in person, I am grateful that we could still gather virtually, because this meeting is too important to postpone. Your Excellencies, it's hard for me to believe that more than 2 decades have passed since my friend Bronisław Geremek and I met in Warsaw with representatives of more than 100 democracies.
20 years ago, on the initiative of Poland and the United States of America.
Mr. Colleagues, friends, Secretary General, Secretary of State Albright, it's a real pleasure to join you here from sunny London today.
Dear friends, it is a pleasure to mark the 20th anniversary of the Conference of the Community of Democracies and the adoption of the Warsaw Declaration by me.
Every opportunity to celebrate democracy is a precious moment, and every moment when states are reminded of their commitments to democracy is a gain for citizens living in democracies across the world. We are going through extraordinary times that put unprecedented pressure on us individually and also on our societies.
I thank you and your teams for organizing this important discussion to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the Community of Democracies and the Warsaw Declaration. Secretary.
Como comunidad de las democracias, debemos seguir trabajando por los principios.
I have the pleasure to invite now Mr. Sorin Ionica, President of the Expert Forum, who is the International Steering Committee focal point for Romania. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Minister. I want to thank you, the Romanian Presidency, for involving the civil society in this exercise and in the preparation of this event, and also the Secretariat for the preparation work. Sadly, as it was remarked before, we are reduced to a video conference, but if we were able to meet in person, we would have discussed probably first the progress of democracy, because we have to admit it and to see also the bright side of the story of the last 20 years. There's progress and there's resilience, but we would have also probably discussed the threats to democracy, the backsliding on norms, and the backdoor authoritarianism that we see around us, even sadly in some EU member countries. There are hybrid regimes, as politologists call them, increasingly sophisticated in maintaining the appearance of democracy, maintaining the institutions, maintaining the rules, the things that we usually as think tank analysts measure, but undermining in a very subtle way the political competition and creating an unfair playing ground. And this is probably the main threat that we are facing today globally when we speak about democracy. There's also destabilization from abroad in many countries, and we have to face this risk either from non-democratic states, so the destabilization is coming from there, or by non-state actors. And this is also a risk, and these countries that are facing this must be helped. Before the COVID crisis, we are in the middle of a dispute on global public goods, and I refer here to the climate change agenda. And these things are not very easy to solve and to negotiate, but unfortunately the COVID crisis added a new layer of complications. And of course, as it was remarked, we face this problem, continuous problem of disinformation and fake news, and even more than that, the use of artificial intelligence to control populations. So we have more and more means and tools, some of them created by undemocratic regimes, and some are used to manipulate politics and political campaigns. And this is also concerning, especially in fledgling democracies. There used to be a shrinking space for for civil society and the media in some countries, and the virus crisis didn't do any good to that, because in many countries it was used as a pretext actually to clamp down further on especially on independent journalists and on civil society. So in brief, the COVID crisis magnified the dangers and created a sense of urgency in intervention that sometimes suits so to speak, politicians with authoritarian inclinations. But the bright side of the story is that it made us more aware, this latest crisis, but also the backsliding in the last 20 years, of the value of democracy, of the fragility of democracy, and of the fact that we need a proactive agenda to support democratic institutions. They don't just hold by themselves. They don't, fall from the sky. There is a cost to create democracies and to maintain them, and we are probably today more aware of that than we were even 20 years ago. So to conclude, I think, and I pledge with the member states of the COD to empower, to create more instruments, to empower the Secretariat to improve the monitoring and the evaluation of the democracies in light of these new dangers and of the subtle undermining of democratic norms that we've seen lately. Because, as they say in management, what is not measured is usually not addressed and fixed. We need new instruments, and in the brief report that I authored for the Secretariat General, I propose that we could reflect on a democracy resilience index customized for various regions of the world that would make us more aware and will inform the conversation on the democratic resilience and on what we should do to reinforce democratic institutions. And thank you very much, the Romanian Presidency and the Secretariat, for the whole organization of the event.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. President. I cannot but agree with what you just said. And I would like to remind you all that, well, the Community of Democracies is not alone.